How many years did you say that you spent partying?
Hot Mess Express.
It ruined my life.
I don't know how long any of you people have lived.
Trauma bonding.
Because I'm Black, don't care. I love myself, I love my body. Serial daters so that girls can clean your houses and cook for you.
Life of the party. I've been to jail 3 times. Hey everyone, welcome back to Bottle Girl Diaries. For those of you who are new to my channel, I'm your host Cindy. Before we get started, I just want to say thank you all for the love, the feedback, and the support that you show. That being said, you know the drill. Let's keep it cute if you haven't already, and click that subscribe button below with us so you can stay up to date. So let's go ahead and dive right into today's episode. On today's episode, me and Amber Bugg are gonna share our stories about our hot mess party girl era. And we're also going to talk about how the industry has kind of a cookie cutter image of what we should be looking like and doing. And I'm going to just turn the floor over to her and let her introduce herself and tell you guys a little bit about herself. But before we do that, Amber, thank you so much for coming today. And
I love you.
Yes, I love you. And not canceling, because when I say it is hella rude for people to do that, if I had a dime for every girl who canceled last minute, I'm talking like 2 hours before.
We don't like that.
I just think it's rude, you know? It's like, don't commit. And I do understand life happens and things happen, but we have a whole cameraman that we have to schedule around. It's like not just me, you know? It's just so rude. And
he the man.
Yeah, and now I don't ask those girls to come back. It's a one and done.
Oh yeah.
You know?
You no call, no show. Done.
You no call, no show, and you fired. You are benched. You are canceled.
You're canceled.
You are canceled.
Your credibility
by culture
is
today.
Shot.
Yes.
Shot.
Yes, yes. So if you'll just tell the viewers a little bit about yourself, your nightlife experience, what made you audition in the industry, and you know, how many years have you been in it? Because I feel like you've been in it longer than me, and that's why I chose you today. You are the chosen one.
For a long time. Okay, so hi guys, my name is Amber. Some people know me by Bugg, some people know me by Amber Rose.
Wait, Buggs is your real last name, right?
Yes, B-U-G-G, 2 G's, not 1. But I have been in the industry for a really long time. I've been in the industry for 13 years.
Oh, wow. So this is the OG.
Like, no one do any math, but been in the industry for a really long time. When I first got into the industry, Light Group was still around. Mm-hmm. I got hired. Actually, my first job was at Cabo Wabo Cantina.
I don't even know what that is.
It still exists. It's at Planet Hollywood. It used to be the Aladdin. I don't know how long any of you people have lived or if you know what Vegas is, but it's been around for a while. There's a nightlife legend named Stevie D that was the sole managing partner for it. Mm-hmm. Cabo Wabo was owned by Sammy Hagar, I believe, or it used to be.
Who's that?
Sammy Hagar, what do they call him? The Red Rocker. That's his. He's not gonna watch this, but the Red Rocker. He was like a rock star, like guitarist, and like singer, whatever. But I worked there first. I got hired as a bartender. I was a bartender there in a service well on the Strip, making like yard margaritas, and there were like 28 different cocktails. It was hell, absolute hell. Then I went to an open call for Light Group. My sister actually told me to. My sister, 6 years older than me, she had been working in the industry for like a little bit. And she was like, yeah, you can go to the open call, but you'll probably not get hired. And I was like, oh, like why? And she's like, well, because you have no experience and because you're not.
You could just say it.
Because I'm Black. It's kind of a thing in all places, but it's hard to get a job if you're
frustrating when I
a brown girl.
Have to hear that. So.
But I went. I immediately got put in front of Andy, Andrew, and whoever the other guy was.
So
Brian.
they're just nightlife executives for people who don't know.
Nightlife executives. They were like the nightlife executives, like in the beginning, other than like Cy and Jesse Waits.
Which were the executives for The Win, right? Excess, Encore Beach Club, Tryst,
and like
all
Victor
that.
Dre, yeah. So other than them, that was like the other side of the boat. And I didn't know who they were. I was freshly 21 and walked in, and it was my first like panel interview, and it was Andrew Sasson. Andrew Sasson like quipped and like said something like real smart, and I just said something really smart back to him.
We throwing names out there, huh?
And I mean, it's not like a bad thing. Hey Andrew, if you're watching this, thank you for giving me my first like big industry job. But he did, and I think that was what set me apart, because all of these other girls knew who these men were. They knew all of these things. I was a baby. I was green. I didn't know anything about nightlife. I didn't know who any of these people were. So they gave me a job. I worked at a couple of different light group venues.
Which were what at the time?
It was when Aria first opened. So there was Union Restaurant. That's where Javier's is now.
Okay.
Gold. And then I do not remember what the other one was called that was downstairs.
And so then after that, what was your big transition into bottle service? Like, what was your first job?
Big job was Encore Beach Club. I opened Encore Beach
Club. Oh my
gosh,
wow. That's huge.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because, like, I feel like EBC, which is Encore Beach Club, is kind of where, you know, all the big timers have worked. So that's awesome. And you've waitressed now for how many years? 13, you said?
13.
Okay.
Long time. Very long time. And honestly, probably almost 14 now. But yeah.
Well, I've always definitely looked up to you, and I remember when we would work out at Sweat Zone together, and
with Trey Mays
and Brandon.
And Brandon.
So I wanted to get into now that everybody knows a little bit about you and your experience. So today's topic is the hot mess party girl era.
Yes.
And I think people really want to hear about it. So how many years did you say that you spent partying and being a quote unquote hot mess?
Probably from about 21 to 25.
That sounds about
26.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. And so
4 or 5 years.
If there's something that I could say with the hot mess party girl era, one thing that I always just remember is like getting too drunk and leaving my car at multiple different hotels, whether it was the Aria, the Wynn, the Cromwell, you know, and then always waking up at Dre's after hours, and all while I had a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Because I probably spent a good 4 years doing that.
Yeah.
Girl, like, it ruined my life in a sense for those years, because I remember just, you know what? My car got towed multiple times. I was always getting tickets. My bills were going past due. Just because, like I said, all I cared about and prioritized partying and like
friends and partying.
But
like not friends.
And I even found myself not going home to visit as much my family. Did you find yourself doing that?
Yes. I did not go back home to visit. Like my grandparents, grandmother now, live in Victorville, California, which is like
Victorville. It's like a small little podunk.
Yeah, it's like a 2-hour drive from Vegas. I did not go back for like holiday probably in like that 4 or 5 years.
Oh my gosh.
I was working Christmas. I was working holidays.
Yeah.
Like just in this industry, there's a lot of the push to prioritize your job and to prioritize
and stay relevant.
The company and to stay relevant.
Yeah.
So I was working like Twerksgiving, like
not Twerksgiving. Okay, hold on.
Diplo created Twerksgiving. Another company now has it.
Oh no.
Y'all own it now.
Oh, okay. Well,
Y'all own it.
That's something new to us. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh shit. So Twerksgiving was funny because everybody goes out the night before Thanksgiving. And when I lived at home back in Utah, the night before Thanksgiving is a relaxing night for me and my grandma and my aunties. You know, they might have some kind of family movie playing, and we're prepping. And
you're prepping food.
I used to go out on Thanksgiving Eve, even in Salt Lake City, and I'd come home like at 4 a.m. and my grandma's already up prepping the turkey, and she just has like an Asian accent, you know?
Yeah.
And I fell down the stairs because I lived in her basement apartment, and she's like, "Why you fall down?" I'm like, "Grandma, I'm just tired." It's like, "You do drugs, huh?" I'm like, "No." Maybe something like that. You know what I mean? But it was funny, and she put up with my shit. My grandma loved me. But, you know, where I'm getting at with this is partying, it was fun, but it kind of ruined my life, and I feel like I wasted so much money on buying outfits to go out.
Yes.
Right? Because you felt like I was going out like 3-4 times a week.
You had to have a new fit every time you went out.
You had a new fit every time you went out, and
unless you were me, guys, I would get new fits and I would look like a girl sometimes, but what you see right now, this is how I have been. So
you're still beautiful, absolutely, by the way. But I do notice that you are a little bit more of a casual dresser, and there is nothing wrong with that. You can always tell who the girls are that are visiting from like California or, you know, other states. As opposed to us, because we'll go out and we're in some cute kicks.
I'm in some dunks. I'm in a hat. Probably not wearing makeup.
But the bad bitches can do that. The bad bitches can do that. You own it.
That's me. I'm like, that's crazy. I've worked all weekend. I am not getting ready to go out and help other people make money. No.
No. Absolutely not.
No.
So what would you say, okay, so party girl hot mess era. One thing that I will say is this, is like I was in the most toxic relationships then, and I realize it now. And I was like, what made me gravitate toward that? And it's because, you know, when you drink and then you're just lonely after a night of drinking, you leave the club, all that overstimulation from the crowd, and you go home and you just want to be cuddled, and you find yourself texting, you know, or calling whomever is available that you know was out drinking, right? Because you know that he's awake.
Yeah.
And I feel like all those relationships, you're trauma bonding with them in a sense, because like the postpartum, the post drinking depression, you know, it comes after, and you literally are making the worst choices in whatever it is. And I didn't care who it was. Like I would date all the toxic guys, and it's shitty because I'm like, dang, like 5 years of my life, I wish that I don't regret partying.
You learned lessons. So we won't say that they were wasted, but
it was just like, I look at it now and I'm like, dang, like I just don't want people to think that I'm ran through.
Well, and number one, no, that's not what that means. Also, if men knew how vaginas worked, then they would know that vaginas don't get ran through anyway. But
yeah, well, they don't. So,
but it's a thing of men do the same thing, and then that's not really.
But why is it's so frowned upon for us? You know what I mean, and not them.
It's because we're women.
But the party girl hot mess era, I feel like multiple times I got my car towed.
Yeah.
I got so many parking tickets because I was just too drunk to.
I got 2 parking tickets downtown.
Yeah, to pay the meter, and then
because you don't have to pay at night. You just have to pay during the day.
I was always hungover going into work, and like sometimes I drank at work.
Oh man.
At jobs that we were allowed to.
I cannot name places because at some of the places
we were not allowed
to drink. But it was everyone. Management, like everyone was drinking. It was not just us. They looked the other way. And it's places where they cannot drink now, and it is so stringent. So it's very, very funny to be working at a place where you used to get just hot mess express with like your managers. Hot mess express,
yeah. Going into work hungover. I think that being in the hot mess party girl era, like I said, you know, we prioritized our friends, and I felt like there's a real such thing as FOMO. There's a real thing as FOMO. Like,
of course,
you see people out partying, and when you first start coming out of the party girl era, and that's what I want to get into right now, is geez, you really have to be disciplined in changing up your group of friends. You really have to be disciplined in not giving into the FOMO and realizing that, like, if you want to change, because there's people out there that are still partying for like, and it's been like since the whole time I've lived here.
I'm like, it's been since before I started partying.
Yeah, and so then you start seeing the new group of girls that are partying and whatnot, you know, and I kind of feel like it was harder to kind of like be prioritized in my goals when I was partying all the time because I was always hungover, sleeping a lot on my days off.
You don't have any mental clarity. Like, you're drinking all the time. You have so much mental fog. You think that you're going to miss something, and then you think that, you know, you're not going to be relevant anymore. So your company's not going to...
It's the being relevant thing.
Your company's not going to... Like, no one's going to see you out. No one's going to see you out. So if no one sees you out, then what are you doing? Because when you're out, you're promoting like your venue, you're promoting yourself, you're doing all of these things. But it's interesting to think about because I think about the people that I used to hang out with back then. I probably have about 3 or 4, actually probably more than that, because everyone that I worked with at like Encore Beach Club and Surrender, like in the beginning days, we all kind of came through it together, and like we came out of it at about the same time. And those are my friends. Those are my friends. I have a lot of them, male and female, and we went through a lot of stuff together. But we were ready to come out of it at the same time.
Because your real friends will stay with you even when you stop drinking or when you're past that partying stage. And, you know, we used to get invited to a lot of industry events, you know, the Instagrammies, Vegas' most beautiful people. And, you know,
I love you.
Or like Life of the Party.
Oh, yeah.
You know, that was so fun. But, you know, when you stop going out, you stop getting invited to those things too. And my feelings were hurt because I was like,
it's an ego
thing. It's your ego, you know. And when you're in your party era, oh girl, your ego is high. Like you don't got to wait in line to get anywhere. You can walk in.
We still don't wait in lines.
Yeah, we don't. So we don't have to sometimes even show our IDs.
Yeah, because everyone there knows us.
The one thing I don't miss about the party girl era is the quality of men that you attract. I should say boys, because you really can't expect much emotional intelligence or integrity from a man that's out every single night. Because, you know, even I think it was Steve Harvey, he even said, a man that's out in a club every night is looking for pussy.
Yeah.
Like that's all there is to it. I don't care if you're like, oh, he's a host, this, that, and the other. Cool. He can walk a client in, drop a bottle, maybe have a drink with them, and then go home. A man who is literally out in the club every night, unless he works in the club, is literally out for pussy. And you really can't expect much out of it. And that's the kind of guys you attract when you are in your hot mess party girl area. Yeah.
And that's what
and nobody can take us seriously when you're in that. Like,
no. And it goes both ways with the guys too. Like, none of us took them seriously. You know, everyone's attractive. You live in Vegas, everyone is attractive. You throw a rock and there's somebody that's attractive. You learn when you get out of that there has to be more substance. And I mean, once real life happens, because real life will come at you real fast. Once real life happens, you're like, you sit with this guy with his fuckboy haircut and does not know how to read, does not have any like substance.
I have to say something. I went to lunch the other day with Elle, our friend Elle.
Yes.
She's obviously been on the channel as well. And you know what we were saying is that the fuck boys, the toxic party boys, them, listen girl, let me tell you something. They got the best dick. And here's the reason why. And here's the reason why is because
they practice all the time?
Well, no,
because they're out there practicing.
Because they're homeless and they need a place to stay.
They need a place to
stay, and they sleep with you like it's literally their lives depend on it. But
it's because
always
their homes are
But it's always the toxic ones who have the best, who are the best in bed. Not because they practice every day.
They're doing it for survival.
Like
they say that we do stuff for survival. It's like, that's crazy because you guys are serial daters so that girls can clean your houses and cook for you. That's wild to me.
It is sick. Like, they literally will live double lives. But, you know, listen.
Wild.
I am in the era right now of, obviously, pretty much since quarantine happened, I stopped going out as much. And I do actually enjoy this era that I'm in. But it's actually a little bit more hard to find quality men of substance to date.
Yes.
And like the sex life, it dwindles a little bit because you are more selective on who you're giving your energy to.
And that, I feel like that's like the most important message. If any woman watching this or like young girl is watching this, the energy exchange that you have with any of these people, that is the most important. Those people,
it's energy for me.
can
ruin your life.
They can bring chaos, absolute chaos into your life.
Yes.
And
especially if they, you know that if a man inside you, their DNA is in you forever.
Oh yeah, it stays there.
It's just, yeah. So
we absorb everything.
How that comes into the hot mess party girl era is because you find yourself not being as selective with friends, with guys, with anything really. And your life is literally kind of in shambles, honestly. You think that it's okay, but you know, yes, while you're almost like working just to pay bills, but you're not putting that money toward anything else. Is that what you felt like?
Yeah, I had a lot of responsibility early. So like I would help like my family and stuff like that. So I was still, bills were getting paid. I just let my phone bill go sometimes before. For a while in my early years, my phone bill was being paid by my stepfather. So I was...
Well, I have a confession.
Say your parents pay your phone bill because I wish that mine would.
No, absolutely not. I pay all my bills on my own. I wish they would. Like, hello, where are you at, parents?
Same. I'm like...
But I've been to jail 3 times.
Oh.
And it was during my hot mess party girl era.
Girl.
Twice for not paying tickets, so you had warrants.
I had one of those.
And I fought somebody.
So I went to jail once for an unpaid parking ticket for one of the 2 times that I told you that I left my car downtown and I had no idea. Second time I went to jail, I was telling you guys about this off camera. I went to jail when an ex-boyfriend, a very toxic ex-boyfriend, tried to kill me.
Do you want me to shit in a shoe?
He's dead now. He killed himself.
Oh
but
my gosh, I'm so sorry.
I don't even know how to respond to that, but no, it doesn't.
Okay, God,
just,
I'm so sorry.
Yeah, no, you're fine. But there's that, and then what else?
He killed himself?
He killed himself.
I'm so sorry.
He tried to kill me twice, and he killed 2 people. That's a different episode for another day, guys.
Yeah, that's part 2.
That's part 2. But yeah, I went to jail that time. I think those are the only 2 times I went to jail.
Jail's a wild place.
Yo.
Okay, first of all, I was in there.
Jail is not.
It's not for me.
Okay, not for me.
I went in there and they were actually transporting the women that came from the prison to that jail.
Oh yeah,
and I'm talking about women who have probably killed
people for
you know,
sure.
And mind you, I'm in there for an unpaid ticket, right?
Yeah.
And this was the second time, so my mom was like, "Oh no, leave her in there. She need to learn her lesson." I'm like, "Oh no, bitch."
Did they put you in Genpop? Did you have to go to the actual jail?
Girl.
Oh,
they made me put on the suit.
Yeah.
I was mortified. It was orange.
It's orange. But it's like
I was like, we are not filming
faded.
Orange is the New Black. I don't know what you guys are thinking, but this is just not for me.
It's faded orange.
And I kept asking the
chanclas.
The chanclas, girl. I could not. But listen, I told the police officer that was working like the front desk, I was like, "Excuse me, sir." I'm like knocking on the glass, and he's like, "Yeah," like thinking I'm crazy. I'm like, "Can I have my cell phone?" And he's like, "No." I'm like, I was like,
did not ask for your cell phone.
I was like, "Where am I?"
Like you're in class, you're like, "Excuse me."
Yeah, I needed myself. Well, I was trying to call my parents, and he's like, I'm like, "Well, don't I get like a phone call or something, like 1-800-collect?" And he's like, "It's free." And I'm like, "Oh, okay, so like I don't have to use collect, right?" So
I'm done with you.
Yeah, that was when I called my mom. She's like, "No, you stay in there. You pay your ticket next time." I'm like, "Bitch."
You're like, "Just get me out. There are killers in here.
Just get me out there." No, and then the worst part is this. I thought they were going to be special treatment because I was pretty, you know?
Oh.
Like, I was the prettiest one in there. You know what I mean?
I know. If you've never been to jail, y'all.
These women's are looking rough out there.
It's rough.
So I was like, "Can I use the bathroom?" He's like, "There's a toilet right there." I was like, "But they can see me." And he's like,
"That's the only toilet you get to use."
So I'm
and they're all just like looking
I was like, maybe I should
you.
like flash this guy or pull down my pants and entice him to like let me out.
I'm done with you.
Anyways, I decided, whatever, I peed, they watched me pee. It was a wild night. And let me just say, the lesson between that is I never, listen, even if you can call the judge and be like, "I can only make $25 payment," I did that because there ain't no way in hell.
Yeah, don't
jail
go
is
to
not
jail.
For me. Jail is not for me.
So the time that I went, when I shouldn't have gone, when the ex-boyfriend tried to kill me, I went into Genpop. I was in Genpop for maybe
What's
like
Genpop?
6 hours. I went to like the actual like jail. So like you were in holding.
Yeah,
so
I was in holding.
You were in holding.
But for 12 hours.
I went for 12 hours. I went to Genpop. When I got to Genpop, there was like, they jumped a girl, like someone
Did you watch a
almost
girl get
died. Like, yeah, and I was just sitting on my cot, like just watching all of this happen, like a deer
You're
in
like,
headlights.
in the name of the Father, Son, the Holy Spirit,
And
like,
then
I repent.
All of these girls, like guys always talk about, you know, when people come up to you in like prison and they're like, oh, like you're pretty or like this, or they want to come up and talk to you. And I was just like, I cannot talk to any of these people. And if anyone knows me, you guys know that I don't shut up. I love to talk to people. That was probably, I was mute for those like 6 hours.
So scary.
I would only talk if it was like abundantly necessary. It was terrible. I had to eat a cup of noodles, and not because I was like in college
I love cup
and
of
broke.
noodles.
It's not the same in prison. Okay, it's not the same.
You're all, the water's not boiled, the
No.
noodles are a little still crispy, you know.
Like you eat it with a spork, because you can't have a fork because they'll.
Spork?
A spork.
Oh, because yeah, they will use that
Because
as
they'll
weapons.
use it as a weapon.
Yeah. Have you seen Law Abiding Citizen?
Yes.
Yeah, he killed, oh, that was crazy.
This is me. You can kill someone with a toothbrush.
Yeah, I've actually heard that, but
You can kill someone with soap, actually. They make shivs out of soap. Spinelli's like, what? But it's true.
it's
I
crazy.
swear.
When you're in jail, you're a creative mind, you know. I was thinking of ways that I could escape. I was like, do I crawl,
Girl.
you know, try to go through some ventilation system, whatever it is. I watched way too many movies.
There are people that escape, but
Yeah.
I don't know how that happens.
Yeah, I don't want to have to think about that. So yeah, hot girl, you know, actually we are hot girls, you know.
I used to be. I'm not anymore.
You still are. Always at heart, baby. Hot mess era, party girl era, you know, I've wound up in jail. I've had the shitty boyfriend. So now I want to know, you know, kind of how you took yourself out of it, just briefly, like what you did differently as opposed to getting ready to go out. It becomes your routine. It becomes your routine.
It does. I think I started taking a step back. So I love to work out. Anyone that knows me, I probably haven't worked out in the
do love
last
to work out.
2 years.
And it shows.
But I love to work out. So I started taking time off. So maybe every audition season, I would stop drinking for a couple of months, and I would just like get really into like working out. So instead of, you know, 4 weeks of trying to prep for auditions, I was just like getting ready,
Sooner than
staying
later.
ready. Yeah, staying ready versus trying to get ready. And
Okay, if you don't gotta get ready, you stay ready.
Yeah.
Or wait, what is it? If you
stay ready, you don't
gotta
get ready. But I would do that. I'm a serial monogamist, so I am
Just being in a relationship.
always
helps.
in a relationship.
You are.
But when, I mean,
I said you are.
That's me. I'm like, I can't, they've all been toxic, but maybe not all of them, but most of them were pretty toxic. At least like when I was in them, they were
Welcome to
toxic.
Vegas.
Yeah. But I always had something to do. And then there was a time where I dated a guy that was just always partying. He was an assistant. He was a personal assistant for a guy that always goes out, like a very, very wealthy guy. So they were always out. And I used to be always out because of them. And then when I stopped drinking and I like kind of took a step back, I was just like, okay. They're like, no, you can still come out. I'm like, no, you don't want to be around
You have to be hard
drunk
in your
people
nose. Yeah,
with,
you have to be
like when you're
disciplined and hard in your nose.
Yeah, but you don't, I would like to give the challenge to anyone out there. Be around all of your friends completely sober when they're all a hot mess. You will not like what you see. You will not like what you see.
That's definitely words of wisdom right there.
Yeah.
Because you need to see who you can hang out with that you can go out with and not drink, that you can go to lunch with sober, that you can go do this and
you can
that
still
sober.
enjoy yourself. Because there are friends that you can go out with when they're drinking and you're not drinking, and it's completely fine. But most of the time,
I think that's good advice right there, is choose your friends wisely and see who you can do wholesome activities with so you can come out of that party girl era. Because, you know, have your fun, because everybody has to go through their partying stage.
Everyone does.
But you can obviously see it can wind you in a lot of trouble, but I think you have to go through those lessons. So yeah. On to the next thing I've been meaning to ask you, because you have such a large following on Instagram, and I know that you did OnlyFans, and you still do, yes?
It's still up.
Still up, okay.
It's still up.
You gotta subscribe to see the
Yeah, you guys
content.
can subscribe. I've done a lot of things.
So, have you ever been shamed for your Instagram content?
Oh yeah, I have.
Like, what's the meanest thing somebody has ever said to you? Because
It's a lot of religious type things, and a lot of people telling me because the world has seen my body that no one's going to love me, and
wow.
all of those things. And I think about this and I pose that question to those people usually because sometimes I have time to go after internet trolls. But
She said we have time today.
sometimes we have time.
Cheers to going after the internet trolls, because for me, I'm like, you know what? Let me not say something because I'm gonna come for their necks. Like literally.
I do usually, and then they end up apologizing. It's great.
Okay, good. You were very well spoken, and that's the thing about women like us is that
it's like I have a degree. I'm smart.
Yeah, like they think that just because we work in the industry that we're just some airheads, but like I'm like, come for me. Have a conversation with me.
We can debate.
Yeah, we can debate. I never have to
debate.
get out of character, raise my voice, call you the C word, none of that.
No, I don't have to
I can
curse
just speak
ever.
to you eloquently and in a sense of I'm going to make you feel stupid for even coming to me and thinking that you could even bring that type of shade.
Oh, 100%. And it's there can't be so much emphasis and pressure put on women, I feel, especially in a society that is just wanting more of everything. What I do, and if you see my Instagram, I'm naked on my Instagram. I don't care. I love myself. I love my body. I think that...
As you should.
I think that that's really, really important for a lot of people. A lot of people do not have that. I don't even think it's confidence. It's about self-love. Like, we are all different. No one is the same. No one's gonna look the same. No one, unless you're doing certain things to look a certain way, then maybe you might look the same. But other than that, we don't. We're not supposed to be. And
I feel like you're not harming anybody. You're a good person. I don't understand why society thinks that they can place you in a box of what you can and shouldn't be doing. You know what I'm saying? And with that being placed in a box, I think that being in the industry, they try to mold us into like a cookie cutter shape of what they think we should be.
Of course.
And I don't think it's fair. And here's why. We get hired because they felt like they liked our confidence. They liked our look, right?
Yeah.
They've seen our Instagram before we probably walked into that audition.
Of course.
So why is it then that we get shamed once we're authentically free? Because for me, listen, when I was going out a lot and kind of conforming to going out, going to the outings, posting other venues, events.
Yeah.
Oh, everybody loved me, right? But then when I kind of started doing my own thing and getting away from the trendy, going out all the time, hanging out with, the typical industry people that are out every night.
Yeah.
All of a sudden they don't really,
don't f with you anymore.
They don't f with you anymore.
Yeah.
And it's kind of like, okay. So I think that the industry puts us in like this cookie cutter image of what they think that we should be or be doing. And it's like,
you're an extension of them. You are an extension of their business in their eyes. And I can understand that wholeheartedly.
yeah.
As a business person myself, we are an extension of their brand when we work for them.
Right.
And that's what they want us to portray at all times. But that's not realistic. That's
not
very,
realistic
very
at all.
unrealistic.
Right.
So, they do what they can. They have you go out all the time. They feed you booze. They use you for
Their marketing.
They use you to make more money for themselves. It's a business, and I understand it, but the sooner that you understand that it's a business and that you're
kind of another number.
Yeah, there's not really any loyalty to you as a person, you learn how to move differently, because you need to be true to yourself. You need to be true to yourself. You need to be doing whatever you need to be doing to get yourself where you need to go, because no one's going to do it for you.
Right, and start taking those steps.
Yeah, you have to
get out long term, because if you don't, you're going to turn around, and I've kind of, to be honest, I've been feeling this way too. Like, you turn around and you feel like, hey, like, I have nothing to show, or I'm not sure of the exit strategy out, or what it is, and I'm definitely working on it and I'm getting there. But if you don't, you turn around and next thing you know, like, you're almost like, it's kind of like, I feel like you're another fall in line type person, and you're just kind of sucked in.
You have to. You have
to get out of that cookie cutter image of like what you think you should be doing to fit what they want you to be forever.
Yeah.
You know?
There are companies out there, though, that kind of embrace
your
people being
authenticity.
different, people being authentic, and
Yeah.
I love that. Like, I'll say this, you can never group anything or anyone into like one big box. So not every company is the same. Obviously, not all work experiences have been the same, so it's not terrible. Like, working in Vegas is not terrible. We're not saying that. But you just have to learn. You have to learn that it is what it is. It's a job. Like, you're not expected to be this socialite. And if they are expecting you to be a socialite, I mean, hopefully that you can profit off of it as well and not just let someone make money off of you, because
off of your face, the way that you look.
Is.
Yeah, that's what it is.
Because it's marketing. They use you. You are their pawn in whatever business game that they're playing at the time, or for that season, or for that year.
That part.
So it's not bad.
It's a great industry. It's a great industry. So, it's a big ball game basically. So you're here to play in the big leagues, and you just have to know how to maximize what you're doing with it. And that's why I created Bottle Girl Diaries, because I was like, hold on, like, we live a whole different lifestyle. So let me go ahead and maximize on what I've learned and what I already know.
And give that information to other little hungry, maybe aspiring bottle girls that want to do something better for themselves and build something better for themselves. Because you can. It's not bad. And all of these people, everyone that I've ever worked for, I know that I could go back to, and if I needed a job,
absolutely,
they'd give me a job.
Absolutely. And I think with today's episode, people outside of nightlife can also relate to, hey, like, I'm in my 20s. I'm kind of in my party girl or party boy era, you know. Yeah. You can't stay in that. It's very normal.
It's normal, but just don't stay in it.
You're going to get in a lot of trouble. You're going to have to go through the shit, you know.
But you have to learn. You got to bump your head a couple of times to learn the lesson, I think. But
yes, for sure.
We all do.
Before we go, you do have like the opportunity just for a few minutes to ask me anything, and it's an open space here.
It's an open forum. Any question that I'll ask you, I'll answer. So it won't be like anything bad.
Deal. Guys, keep in mind, this person that I'm giving the floor to, she'll say what she got to say. This is what I like about you.
I'm trying to think of something good. Okay, what is your best party girl memory that you have?
This is gonna sound so bad because it's gonna sound so groupie-ish.
We love it. We live for groupie days. Everyone has them.
Okay, so I dated somebody, and I went to Cabo with the Golden State Warriors, and it was all of them, Draymond, Clay, and a bunch of other ones that I can't remember. And the way that they party were at the exclusive like El Dorado resort, and it was just a vibe, not gonna lie. And then I think just any time that I was a party girl, like, I would be courtside at basketball games, whatever it was.
Insert the Drake lyrics here.
I did date a few athletes. So I think, those were the best of my party girl days, I think. And, just all the perks that it came with,
Yeah.
But that's probably my best, like, memories. Like, I can't just say one. I did go to Miami with my friend Jocelyn.
Yeah.
And one time we went out, and then we went to Club 11. And if you don't know anything about 11, you come out at 11 a.m. and we are just to the floor, balls to the wall, blacked out. And she's like, "What are we doing now?" And I'm like, "I can't see no more." We decided to go to get more drunk. It's like 11 the next day, and we had breakfast on the beach. And I feel like times like that are just, you get to talk about that for forever.
You do, and then you get like good memories.
You get good memories, and that for me is
and then you bond.
Yeah. And then we had to fly back. We had to fly back, and we had to work on Friday at Excess, and we had the Chainsmokers. We were so busy that night.
No.
Child, when I tell you that hangover wasn't it. So just those moments were fun for me. I'm going to be honest, and I really hate to admit this, but I was a person that I would be dumb sometimes and drink and drive. And one thing I'm grateful for is that I never got a DUI, knock on wood.
Yeah.
And now I'm obviously not stupid.
You never hurt yourself, and you never hurt anyone else.
No, and I'm so grateful for that. But just those moments of like hanging out with celebrities at the time when
Yeah.
you thought that, you know, now they're like just normal people to us. But I'd have to say those were the best of my memories.
Yeah.
I really appreciate you for coming on today.
I love you.
I love you. Well, that wraps up today's episode on Bottle Girl Diaries. I hope that you guys were able to enjoy today's episode. And before we go, don't forget to click that subscribe button below so that you can stay up to date with us on our latest. You can follow our Instagram page at Bottle Girl Diaries, or if you want to get more personal with me, you can follow me at I am Cindy Nansiri, and I will see you guys next time. Bye.
Bye.